Okay, so there is a fever taking place as a result of the announcement that President Emerson Mnangagwa has got another 5 years. Here's the problem. Nelson Chamisa doesn't agree. Nelson Chamisa supporters don't agree. In fact, observers don't agree. So, is the election valid if Nelson Chamisa agrees? In fact, is the election valid when Nelson Chamisa supporters agree? In fact, is the election result valid when the observers agree? What a conundrum, huh? Here's how it works out. In the end, people go home. I'll explain. You don't like the result, I understand. I'm neither here nor there. But in the end, people go home. Let me explain. First, you didn't like the result, so you stayed at the polling center, right? Then you didn't like the result and you met in groups, right? Then you didn't like the results, then you had a collective action of wanting to advance or march towards the point of ZEC command, right? But in the end, people go home. That's it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. In the end, people go home. And as long as people go home, it doesn't really matter who agrees or who doesn't agree. But that's not the point of this conversation. I'll tell you the point of this conversation. The point of this conversation is for me to explain to you exactly what happened. So let me break it down for you. When President Emerson Mnangagwa became president 5 years ago, one of the first appointments he made was Ambassador Isaac Moyo. Let me tell you about Ambassador Isaac Moyo if you don't know who he is. He's the Director General of the CIO. Heard about that? Yeah, that's the man in charge, top CIO officer. If you don't know who Ambassador Isaac Moyo is, that's who you need to know. Let me help you understand. Before he was appointed to be CIO Director General, Ambassador Isaac Moyo is stationed at the African Union Post Command, looking after the intelligence office at the African Union headquarters. Let me tell you why that is important. When you get into situations like this, do you know who is talking to each other? The intelligence organizations of every country. So the South African intelligence is talking to the Zambian intelligence, is talking to the Malawian intelligence, is talking to the SADC intelligence, is talking to the global intelligence community. You know who is a master at talking to intelligence? Ambassador Isaac Moyo. Let me tell you this. You're not going to beat him at that job. Oh, no chance. In fact, Ambassador Isaac Moyo, just like the late Dr. Maunganidze, was one of President Robert Mugabe's blue-eyed boys, proficient at energy counterintelligence, impeccable in the order of merit when it comes to understanding the operations of an intelligence organization. You know who is also talking to him? The intelligence operations from America, the intelligence operations in the United Kingdom. When they speak industry language, they understand each other. He knew that 5 years ago that this day was coming. I want you to know, that's the man you want to pay attention to first. I haven't said why. I just want you to pay attention. Let me tell you the second situation. Here is the second situation. 2008, 2013, was it? Yeah. That election was run, let's start with 2008. That election was run by the military. When an election is run by the military, the only tool in their toolbox is a weapon. That's why that election was full of weapons. Then 2013, that election was run by Jonathan Moyo. What was the result of that election? When the election is run by a politician, the result is evidently political. That's Jonathan Moyo's election. Then you have 2018. That election was run by the war veterans. That is why you had the result that you had. Now you have 2023. The election is run by their intelligence. That's why the result is intelligent. Demarcation of boundaries to demarcate a constituency to make room for gerrymandering does not change the number of the votes. It just changes the dynamic of the constituency makeup and frameworking. You know that, right? Of course you do. You're smart. You are smart. Smart people. Clever people who are on Wi-Fi for 3 fucking hours and you're now political scientists, huh? Dummies. Anyway, I want to help you. I do. I want to help you. So when you're done being mad at me, let me actually help you. Because if you don't take my help, I'll tell you what's going to happen. You're going to go to court. When you get to court, there's a guy called Louis Uriri, advocate, the most senior advocate in the advocate chambers, based opposite Meiko's Hotel. You know what he's waiting for? To fuck you in the ass. That's what he's waiting to do. To fuck you in the ass. You ain't got nothing on him. Because he knows all about the advocates you are bringing to him. Let me paint the picture. Who's the lead advocate on Nelson Chamisa side? Advocate Tabani Mpofu, right? Right? Am I lying? Is it Advocate Tabani Mpofu? Okay, now, where is Advocate Tabani Mpofu's office? In the advocate chambers. Who is the chairperson of the advocate chambers? Advocate Louis Uriri. Damiza. Let me make it even clearer. There's a bench. There's a saying that says, the good lawyers know the law. The best lawyers know the judge. But I want to help you. Stay tuned. Okay. Yeah.